Hey, it's Wayne Purnell, and it is still evening, which means it's not tomorrow yet, which means I still have time today to give you my Facebook Live. And today's topic, because here's the deal, is I am doing a Facebook Live per day, every day in the month of December. Here's tonight's. We're getting closer and closer to Christmas. We're getting closer and closer to when families travel, they gather together. And I wanted to give you a quick reminder of the top 3 watchwords to eliminate during your family gathering, okay? The top words, okay? I have a list of 10 of them. I'm going to give you the top 3. The first one, some of you know these. If you've been hanging with me for a while, some of you know these, and it's just time to put it back in front of you. Sometimes they slip out, and you don't mean for them to slip out. So to have you really understand, there are 3 keywords of the 10 that I list. There are 3 keywords that if you eliminate them, your family gatherings go so much better. Also, if you're a leader of teams, if you're in a partnership, a relationship, if you have kids, if you have parents, if you, there's so many ways to use this or not use this. Who's joined me? Hey, Tony, thanks for being here. So glad. Wow, you just sort of show up when I'm doing this. I really appreciate it. Appreciate you being here. Here are the top 3 watchwords, right? And I've said that some of you may have heard these before, and it's so important to put this back in front of you, right? So when your family comes together, when your team comes together, when you're working on your leadership, get rid of the word why. That's the very first word. Why? It becomes blameful. That's the right. What's the answer when you go, why did you, why'd you get me that? It's like, it's blameful. Basically, you're telling the other person that what they're doing is wrong. You're making them bad. It's a shame-based word. Unless, right, and it's a watchword, not an eliminate word. And the context I've given here is that you're doing this for your family, right? You're doing this at family gatherings. So why is a great word when you're, I'm going to hold up a journal. Why is a great word when you are exploring things on your own, right? When you are looking at why does this matter to me? It's an inner kind of question. I have an exercise where I ask the word why 4 times, and I know that there's another book that's come out since I actually put together my exercise, and it's a great book. It's Start With Why, and it actually asks you to do this 5 times. And it's an inner journey. It's an inner reflection of personal values. That's great. That's different than when you're with somebody or in relationship with somebody and you go, why? Why'd you do that? Why are your jeans still on the floor? Why is this messy? Why are you late? Why, right? So let me just see who's popped in. Hey, Scott, good to see you. It's been a while. So you're going to eliminate the word why first. It doesn't get you the answer that you want. It never does unless you're asking it of yourself. So when you're in a relationship and you eliminate the word why, you eliminate the response of, what's the right answer? Because, right? And so you're faced with, think about the last time you were asked why. Why'd you do that? Why is that so great? Why'd you bring this? Why are you late? Why, right? The only response, the first word response to that is because. Because, right? And so eliminate that. Take it out. Start asking what questions. Start asking how questions. Why is this room still messy? It's like, hey, what can we do so that we can all live in this space together? That's a very different question than why is this room so messy? Why did you leave, plates in the sink? Why? And it's like, if you want to be blameful, cool, be blameful. Do that on purpose, though. And know that that kind of rant, that kind of tirade is blameful and shameful, and that you're doing it on purpose, right? Hey, I'm blaming you for leaving plates in the sink. Cool. not really cool, but just know that you're doing it, right? So instead, it's like, hey, I thought we had an agreement that if you used a dish, you were going to put it in the dishwasher, or you would wash it and put it away. That's different than why did you do that, right? So let me just see who else is watching. Oh, hey, hey, Hank, and hello, Jacob. So good to see you. So eliminating the word why really stops the argument from happening before it even happens, right? So ask what questions or how questions. How can we all get to this desired outcome versus why did you do that, which is really like finger wagging. And when that happens, like, that feels so good, doesn't it? It doesn't, right? You're being poked, and that's no good. So, and if you've been on the receiving end of why, then you know how it feels, because the first answer is because, and you're either searching for the right answer, or you're in what I call the obstreperous adolescent mode, which is because F you, that's why, grr, right? And that doesn't get you anywhere either. That's the argument. So eliminating the word why is a really good idea, especially at family gatherings. Think about what your outcome is. What are you hoping for when you ask that question? And turn it into a what or how question. So, what can we do so that we're on time to this family gathering? What can you do so that the room the sink stays clear? What, or how can we create this environment where we all actually have a good time? What can you bring or do, right? So why is the first elimination word, a first watch word? The next one is but, and but is, let me just see who wrote something. Okay. So I shouldn't use the word why. Hey, Tony, the third word is should, by the way, so I'll get there after I use the word but. All right, so why, but, and should, that's where we're heading. And and no, you shouldn't use the word why. And it's funny, I have clients and friends who are dentists and engineers, and they love to backwards engineer things, which is cool. Why does this work this way? That's very different than when you're in conversation with someone that you have a relationship with. It's like, why'd you do this versus, why does this work this way? How? And it's really a how question if you think about it. It's like, how does this work? What was built on what? So that's why we're putting that aside for now. But is the second one, and but eliminates everything that came before it. And it's like, I was given this journal, and today was our family gathering, and so we had our Christmas day today with our family. And so, if I said, well, I really love this journal, but, there were so many others to choose from, it sounds like I really don't love this journal, right? Like the but just negates it, right? And if I'd said, well, I really love this journal, and there were so many others to choose from, the and makes it, wow, so inclusive, and it actually makes it special. So think about your use of the word but, and my favorite example is when a manager was trying to really, really encourage his team, and he's like, hey, July and August were really great months, but we have 2 weeks left in September, and that was the phrase. And it's like, I don't even know what that means. Does that mean that September is going to be a bad month? Does it mean, so it's like, it just confuses everything, and it's exclusive. So inserting the word and any place you have but. And those of you that work with me, I have clients that will hear me say, because sometimes that word sneaks out, and I will stop myself mid-sentence. I'll go da-da-da, but and, right? And I'll stop and I'll go and, right? And so self-correcting mid-sentence is an okay thing, right? So and is so inclusive. So in the example of July and August were really great months, but we have 2 weeks left in September, what does that even mean? If the manager had said July and August were really great months and we have 2 weeks left in September, it's sort of like, wow, we can make it happen, so it's inclusive, it's directive, it's not exclusive, and that's the point, right? So how do we make things a part of instead of apart from something, right? So we use the word and. So we have why, and we're substituting that for what or how. We have but, and we're substituting the word and for the word but. And the last one is should, and this is the last one of the top three that I'm going to tell you about tonight. Should is an interesting one, especially when you get together with families. It's like, well, you should have been here sooner. Well, you should have called me. Well, you should have brought green beans instead of potato salad. And the whole point is you can't should have something now. I can't should have called you. I can't should have been here sooner. And I can't should have changed my green beans into potato salad or vice versa. I can't should have done that. And so the point of eliminating that, especially in a relationship, especially in family gatherings, is that you talk about what the potential for the future is to build that relationship rather than be shaming or blaming in that moment in that relationship. So eliminating should and turning into would or could, like, well, you should have been here sooner, it turns into, hey, you know what, I noticed that when we get together as a family, we talk about getting together at 1 o'clock, and often you show up at, after 2. And I'm wondering what you could do in the future to be here when we said we'd all get together at the 1 o'clock hour. And it creates a sense of wonder. It creates a different kind of conversation that's not a blameful conversation. It's not you always show up late, always, grr, you. And those are some of the watchwords that are later on the list. You and shaking your finger and always and never. Crush those, right? The should needs to go. There are times when, as a parent, you're going to say should. There are times when, as a caretaker, you're going to say should. And it's like, no, you really should do this. Like, if you had fallen and I saw a bone sticking out of your arm, it's like, no, we really should go to the hospital right now. It's like there are times that should exist, which is why when I talk about the words, I talk about them as watchwords and not as always eliminate these words. There are times to use them. Be very deliberate about it. That's the whole point. Be very, very deliberate. So if you're going to be telling somebody something, be very deliberate that you are guiding them with force. The whole point is also that, and I'll dare to use this word out on Facebook Live. Fritz Perls, who was the founder of Gestalt psychology, said that shoulds are shit, and there's no reason to should on yourself or anybody else, right? So if you find yourself using should, just recognize that you're potentially shoulding on them when they don't deserve it. And if you've ever heard the word should, Tony, that's so great. I love some of the comments that are coming up. If you're ever finding yourself either using the word should or being on the receiving end, you know how it feels, right? You know how it feels that you should eat this, you should get up at a certain hour, you should. It's like, you said you wanted this outcome. You really could be doing some other things. And I'm a big fan of what's called the Socratic method of teaching, so which is difficult in a sort of this kind of broadcast style. One of the things I would do would be, what do you think you could do? You said you wanted this outcome. What do you think, what conditions need to be in place? What do you think you could do to get this outcome, right? You should stop eating, Doritos. It's like, well, what do you think you could do, right? You have a bag of Doritos in your pantry. What do you think you could do? What else exists? What are your options, right? In the martial arts, I used to teach, one of the sayings I had when I would teach is, well, what's available to me now, right? And if you look around, you've got all these options, from breath to breath, from moment to moment. You've got all these options. So what's available to me now. And it takes away the I should be doing this, I should be doing that. And when you do that to somebody else, obviously it's worse, right? So if you do it to yourself, the other thing is these things, they're called shoulders, S-H-O-U-L-D-E-R-S, shoulders. And when they come up around your ears like that, it's like, oh, I should have done this, I should have done that. So there's no need to should all over yourself at the same time, right? So what could you do? And yes, there are things you, quote unquote, should be doing or could be doing to get you to your desired outcome. Now, as we get closer to the new year, I'm going to be talking about how to really get your 2018 in order. Are there things you should be doing? Probably. Are there things you could be doing? Yes. Now, here's the deal. As we get closer, I'm going to talk about how to eliminate shiny object. Well, I should be doing this, but I'm seeing that. It's like, right? You're gonna get a goal, and you're going to put steps in place, and I'll talk about how you do that. For now, again, the focus here is eliminating the watchwords that go along with family gatherings. I'm going to clear a message that popped up, which creates a little shake on my stand that I have. I should get a different stand. No, I could, but I don't need to. So the top 3 watchwords, what are you going to eliminate? What are you? You should have been listening. You could have, no, anyway. So, but you weren't. Why weren't you? All right, so it's why, but, and should. So when you're working with your family, when you're working with your teams, as you step up to be a better, stronger leader for yourself, for your family, for your teams, you're going to model that. You're going to start asking, instead of why, you're going to start asking what or how questions. Instead of using the word but, you're going to use and. And instead of shoulding on yourself or anybody else, you are going to start asking what would or could you be doing from now into the future. Okay? Hope that's helpful, and I wish you exceptionally happy holidays, and we still have about a week left to be doing this, so let's get our 2018 in order and let's crush it together. Okay, you guys, here we go. Thanks for joining me. As I said, I'm doing a video a day every day in December. I've been with you all month. I'm not stopping. I hope you're not stopping, and sort of have a sense I'm going to keep doing this pretty much into January and maybe February. I just really like being able to commit to getting on and offering a topic that some people have been resonating with a lot. So if you've got things that you want me to talk about, please, please, please bring it up. I'm going to hold up my book that's going to be coming out in I think we're launching it at the end of February. It's going to look backwards because this is on Facebook. Well, I'll be talking more and more and more about the dynamic transitions. So this is going to be fun. We got a big 2018 ahead of us. All of us do. All of us do. So for now, as you get together with your families, eliminate why, eliminate but, eliminate should. Use those substitution words. Talk to me. Let me know what you want to be hearing, how I can help you, and get ready to crush 2018. It is going to be an amazing year for all of us. All right, thanks for joining me. I'll see you here tomorrow.